You know what episode this is?
68.
69. Get it? 69.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, so you gotta come over a little bit. Did you grind it out today? Did you? And today's gonna be a doozy of a topic.
No, it's not.
Hey, what's up? It's Rashad.
This is Kesha.
Hanging with the Jones, episode number 69. And like, share, subscribe. Definitely subscribe. Doing this all the time. Holiday week this week. So.
And what else this week?
Well, yesterday was our anniversary.
Yes,
and we don't.
Hey, and we made 18 years.
Singing is optional. Definitely.
18 years married.
20 years together. As
21
a couple.
years as friendship.
A lot of history. We did anniversary things yesterday. It was great. Ate really well.
Very well.
At the Opus 9 Steakhouse.
And gave us a free dessert for our anniversary.
Yeah, because
that was really nice.
That's why you got to put what you're doing when you make the reservation. You know what I'm saying? I'm celebrating something.
And they had a little card where it said happy anniversary to Joneses. It was really nice. It really was.
Yeah, it was. I want to talk about one of your favorite reality shows, Kesha, Married at First Sight.
Okay.
And Decision Day is done. We did the reunion special, like part one,
Part
right?
one.
Part one of
like
reunion
20
special.
parts.
Yeah, they're going to drag this thing out because, content. And so far, nobody's together.
It was what was it? 8 couples?
It was 5 couples.
5 couples? Okay.
10 people.
10 people, yeah. 5 couples. All 5 are separated and or divorced. But it's only one couple, but they're separated. So technically, no one's together. I forget his name.
That's the dude that's like from works for NASA. Is it them?
Yep.
I don't understand why this is still a show. Like this, the ratio of married and not married is so not working.
It's not. My part is now. I think it's done for entertainment. I don't think you know how to. Okay, if you watch the show, it's supposed to be science and have a spiritual guidance. It's like supposed to be all this that match you with your perfect person. But at this point, I think it's entertainment because I'm like, they could not have thought this was their perfect person. Like, this is just so, like, he has a modest job. He's a fireman, which is a noble job. But they match him with someone they categorize as being bougie. So while he's okay with living in the corner of a hut, she wants to live in a mansion. And it was like, how did you all think that was going to work? Of course, he loved her. She loved him too. She said she did. But then the reunion, she was like, I don't love him. No.
Nah, I ain't let that do it.
Nah, I don't want to be with him no more.
Yeah.
But then there's rumor that she's with Johnny, who's the Asian guy, which I don't see how that work out at all. So I don't know if it's true, but that's what the blogs are saying, that Johnny and her are dating. And Bao and who? Bao is dating. Bao is who is married to Johnny. Johnny was also abusive. Maybe not physically, but emotionally. So everything, he always talked down about Bao. And Bao took it. So the reunion, he was like, I want to stay with you. And she's like, nope, I had enough.
I'm glad she actually, had a backbone.
Yeah.
Because she was really giving it her best effort the entire time.
Yeah.
And he was just being a jerk.
And she stayed one of the cast members.
Yeah, what's that black dude's name? How they match people and the ineffectiveness of how they have all these things and traits and what they want, but then Zach, yeah, there's a major flaw in the other person that is always a non-negotiable for them. Mm-hmm. So even with Zach and Michaela, right?
Zach and Michaela was married,
but
now Bao and Zach are together.
Yeah.
So Zach was married to Michaela. They were both unhealthy. They weren't ready to be matched. And with Michaela, it was her anger. This is what we discussed in some episodes about she flipped over a table. Her anger was really disproportionate to the event that happened. And then he'll play games I love you. but let's get divorced. But date then later. Then later we come back.
Yeah, because even during
again.
the reunion, like not the reunion, even during the decision day, his response was like super ambiguous.
Like he brought out a paper. It was like, "This is how I love you." Da da da. And they was like, "You want to get divorced? Well, we could be separate." They was like, "No,
we can still be friends." I'm like, "What are you talking about?"
So they was like, "You want a divorce?" Yeah, I want a divorce. It's like, what?
It's like, yeah, divorce me.
Right. That's
like, just shaking your head no.
But now supposedly Zach and Bao actually are dating now. So this is a total, like,
cluster.
Right. And to me, it still shows me, for me, that you still can't do the work of God. It's really, no matter how much science and all this that's supposed to make this perfect relationship, it has a rate of most people are divorced than they are together. Like the relationships are, and so, and even though it's a reality show, it's supposed to be based in kind of like science, but I'm like, no, it's a reality show.
Yeah, and the sad part for me is I peeped that first season. And you was like, nah, yo, they really trying their best to do this. I'm like, nah, this is for TV, yo.
But I was interested if science really, I'm gonna say science, and they also put this psychologicals and all this other stuff. And I was interested to see if that really put two people together. Like we had one couple that had to she had to get a restraining order on her husband. Yeah, it was physical, verbally, and I believe he was stalking her as well.
Yeah, he was crazy.
It was a Latino couple. I forget what season it was.
Like in. Season 2?
Maybe.
Yeah, it was early.
Season 1, I think everyone's divorced. Even the one that stayed together. I think it was one up there, I believe that was season 1, where his mother passed away. They're divorced. And I don't remember what Doug was on. But either way, most people are divorced. And to me, I just really, even though I do like watching the show, sometimes I do feel bad for them because I'm like, you're letting people play with your lives. And you're giving people, how you rather give your life over to man or science as opposed to maybe just kind of trusting God and having faith that your Boaz would come. Oh no, but that your other person would come if it's meant to be.
Yeah, and not even that, but just doing like the thing that really pisses me off about this show the most is people on the show are usually like 28 to like 35, and I feel if you haven't got with anybody by this point in life, there's a certain amount of self work that you need to do because there are some glaring issues that you just haven't seen within yourself. And then you're letting people, basically you're showing yourself who you really are on a very broad base for everybody to see. And then you still can't understand and see yourself until after the show is over and you watch yourself.
That's a big thing. I think that part right there, that's a big thing because I believe you have to create some kind of profile about who you like and what you want. And about, I want to say half the times, if not 70% of the times, individuals didn't know who they were. So why they thinking, oh, I love redheads. Get a redhead. I really don't like them. They really didn't know who they were or what they liked. So that also, I do believe, contribute to the fact that, because some of them, when they showed the interviews, it was like, well, they really gave you everything that you said you wanted. So it should have worked out. And we're just going to theory that sometimes when we think we want something, it's not, we don't know what we want.
Yeah.
Or what you want may not be best for you.
Yeah. To me, like, the vetting process is very similar to like a dating app, but you got to do it in person. And
this time the dating app, it's not you choosing. Remember, you can't choose nothing.
Yeah.
No, dating app, you can swipe.
Yeah.
This one is like, no, this is who you're gonna be, and you're gonna meet each other at the altar.
Yeah, but I wasn't talking about the actual like you giving the person part. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about you trying to tell them what it is that you like or who you are.
Oh, okay, got it. Like your profile.
Yeah, your profile. So you make your profile of what you envision yourself to be and not who you actually are. And that goes into the point of you being able to then have these face-to-face interviews with these people when it comes out to the final whoever, and you having the, you know what I'm saying, just the discernment to weed the real from the fake, so to speak.
Yeah.
And that has not been going on.
Because some of these issues, if they did the psychologicals, I'm like, how this didn't come up?
Nah, you ain't doing no psych. You ain't not no real psych.
Nah, I'm like, how this not came to know. And Johnny and Bao knew each other beforehand. They knew each other. They didn't know they were getting married to each other until they got the altar. It was like, hey, I know you. And he was saying, like, when they get in debate, he was like, that's the reason I didn't call you the first time. I don't like you. It was just like, oh, it was so mean. But it really just go back and even looking at that, because she thought she actually wanted to date Johnny. She wanted to. So even that, maybe sometimes just not knowing what you see on the surface is not real.
Yeah, and I think for me, that's where the whole, when we having these face-to-face like interviews and really weeding away who should be, who's actually ready to get married, who's just there basically for TV, and like, and who is just not prepared for this process at all.
I even go to the creators. They created for TV.
That's what I'm.
I thought you were talking about the applicants.
I'm talking about the people who are behind the scenes doing all this stuff to make sure that they're actually. I mean, because if the purpose of the show is we're gonna pair people up because they suck at dating and they're ready to get married. 2, you get 8 weeks to figure this thing out. If they really want this to be successful, then they would really do their due diligence and actually doing the matching of it. That's my problem, because there's some couples that were clearly should not have been matched. I'm like, and I feel like, yo, that's the for TV couple. You know what I'm saying? Because but this season, like, it's everybody's for TV. You know what I'm saying? They made it very difficult for them to actually cohabitate and really start to build an actual relationship, and that's simply based on the results. The results don't lie. Like
on honeymoons, it was already fireworks and not good ones. Like, it's like, what? It's honeymoon. This is the time where you just getting off a wedding. You should be kind of
in honeymoon phase.
Right. Literally, because you don't know each other. And it was fireworks. Like, oh my gosh. But when we said from the beginning, when we saw the couple, it was like, this is not gonna work. This had to be for TV. None of these couples should be to get matched together. And I was looking back when all this happened. I said, the hate mail they are getting. I know, and even the one, what's her name that was married to, that they consider her bougie.
Yeah, I forgot her name.
I forgot her name. The one considered her bougie. I was wondering, was there something else, because she saw good in nothing. She saw good in nothing. She was like, this is my dream of riding horses and doing this. He would literally make that dream come true. Like, let's go ride horses. She was like, the horses are too slow. I wish you could ride fast. Everything, like, and I was just wondering, like, because there you rarely see her even smile, and even you see the other couples never really engage with her. What's the name?
Gil.
Yeah, Mariah and Gil.
Merla
and Gil. But I mean, so I'll even go behind, like, if they did psychological, something she picked up, because I even wondering, was there some depression? And what she was using shopping to kind of, as her coping skills to deal with depression.
That, or like, she just very, like, just self-sabotage.
She was Debbie Downer. But even that, where does that come from?
Yeah.
It's not self-sabotage without being connected to some kind of mental health issue.
Yeah, that's something. Yeah. Yeah, I feel you.
But it was like everything he did, almost, it was always like, why we on vacation here? These rooms are too small. The sun is not bright enough.
There was no real pleasing her. Like, even in the at the honeymoon, she was like, I don't really feel this resort. Like,
everything. But I thought he had the patience of Job, because even though he kept trying it and he actually fell in love with her, and to see that how his feelings got hurt. But I know everybody
his feelings was crushed.
Yeah. So part 2 is coming on next
Tuesday?
Wednesday.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. It's been a very very unfortunately traumatic season.
That's the thing, because these divorces are divorces.
It's a lot of trauma, especially with the what's that couple name? The redhead girl and the guy.
Oh my gosh, he didn't like her. He didn't like her from day one. I'm not sure they ever really connected. Well, I'm not sure I think they consummated, but I don't think he ever really connected with her when he was online looking for other girls.
Yeah, Ryan and Brett. You know what I'm saying? Like from the
And
jump.
he was like, I don't like redheads. Wasn't that his problem too?
Yeah.
I'm like, but his hair's dyed. Tomorrow could be blue. Like
it just was like it was real weird. And the thing that was most upsetting for me is, and this is kind of like a very male thing to do, is not say the thing because you don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. But then if you don't say the thing, that's gonna just hurt their feelings anyway because you're not clearly communicating how you really feel.
But even like how I tell you too, you don't say the things because you hurt their feelings, but your behavior is speaking louder than what you said, so it's still offense there because everyone who had eyes could see that there was problems, even though he never expressed them. So
Yeah.
I'll be telling you, like, I could see it because the way you act.
Yeah.
Which become more offensive because at that point, the other person, you maybe start creating a story in your head about why that person acting like that.
Yeah.
But I still go back. I was just really thinking about this. Like, man still can't do the work of God. And you can't. You just can't. That doesn't mean to me that everyone who's divorced or separated, that they weren't put together by God. No, things happen in the way. But when you get on a show that's supposed to be using science, and everybody is divorced, there's more divorced people than there are together. It just shows you can't.
And also it shows you the fact that marriage is really hard.
That's another thing. That's a common thing. Everyone can say, I didn't know marriage was hard. Why not?
Yo, like
Who told you it's easy?
Doing anything for a sustained period of time, regardless of how routine or formulaic it may get, it's difficult. Like sustained success is a hard thing to do. Like even when it comes to using the sports analogy, most times there aren't like the same team that wins like every year because it's hard to actually maintain that level of focus and drive to do it every year. You get some dynasties every once in a while, like the Patriots or Bulls back in the day, or even like the Lakers for a few seasons. But having somebody win every year, that's hard to do.
Yeah. And a lot of them, the fantasy of marriage. Marriage isn't a fantasy. Like the fantasy of marriage, that I want to come home and think he's going to be laid down, and that whole fantasy. And it doesn't always, like, that might happen for the first week or so. I might even give you a year, but eventually when you hit a rough patch, that's going to be colorful. Eventually when you 18 years in, I ain't doing that no more. I got children.
Fantasy's over. Like, yo, like it's some real stuff we need to be handling and talking about. Or just like, I'm tired.
Right.
Or I don't feel like doing it this way anymore.
So the fantasy mixing in with reality. And I think a lot of people, especially I can't just say on that show, and sometime in life, marry potential or the fantasy, the dream.
Yeah.
A lot of people's dream, and marriage ain't like that.
Nah.
It could be a part to help you get to your dream, but it's not all fantasy. You know what I mean? Like, it's not all rainbows and gumdrops.
That's part of the reason of like even when we got married, like it was just very pared down. A lot of people are very focused on the wedding and not really focused on how the marriage is going to work out. What are we going to do? How are we going to figure stuff out? Especially again, if you're grown, you know what I'm saying? Like we was basically still kids. But if you're 30, you know what I'm saying? You should have a good bearing of the world and how things should work. You know what I'm saying? But when you go into it, if you still have those fantastical ideas in your mind, you'll be trying to reach for this unattainable goal, and then when you get sidelined every time, it's like, oh, this doesn't work out, something's wrong with them, and it really be you the whole time.
But see, even that concept of bearing of the world, you can create that world. Your perception is your reality of the world, and then not having someone come in that they for a fact that they're gonna make that person like, if you like blue, that person's gonna hate blue. Like they're gonna do one of those, but not even knowing the person, because usually in a relationship, if you're dating,
Yeah, you kind of figure some stuff out.
right in the beginning. You're like, oh no, I don't like him. No, oh, I don't like her. She got red hair. I don't like red. You know, you kind of get a chance to work that out. And don't get me wrong, because there are some part of the country who does arranged marriages and it works.
World.
But yeah, excuse me. But no,
Yeah,
never
right.
married to Potomac. She's arranged with her stepfather.
Oh, yeah.
Her step-grandfather.
Married at Salt Lake City.
Salt Lake City, yeah. She married her step-grandfather. So there's people who know that arranged marriages, but I think to have an arranged marriage, you got to be into, like, it don't matter what happened, we riding this out.
Yeah, and that ain't the premise of the show.
No.
Oh, boy. I think I'm done talking about this.
Part 2 this week.
Yeah, part 2 is definitely
so, yeah.
Tuesday, Wednesday. I don't know, one of them days. Yeah.
Wednesday.
Yeah, definitely. Speaking of Wednesday, Hawkeye on Disney Plus. Me and Maddie will be reviewing that. Episodes 1 and 2 drop, so we're reviewing that.
King Richard's on HBO.
Yeah, did you watch that?
I'm watching it.
Oh, good for you.
Keeping up the time. Keeping up the Joneses.
Oh, wow. No pun intended. Huh? Yeah, but yeah, that's what we got. I hope you guys have a great holiday. Well, beginning of the holiday season with, Indigenous Peoples Day. Yeah, good job. Good job, guys. So, we will see you next Monday. Till next time.